Hello, my name is Dominic Underhallhouse and welcome to another episode of Moonbreaker. In today's video, we're going to go back to tournament testing. Now I've had a look at a few lists and I think I've decided that I'm quite happy with the Astra list. I want a bit more practice. Again, we still don't know the format of the tournament, but we're going to just be working on some assumptions here. So kind of happy with the Astra list. The aggressive Astra list seems to work quite well. It seems very efficient, especially with the Into the Breach and aggressive units. The Exterior list seems a bit of like a mid-rangey list. It was able to sort of last quite well, but it's got good damage output when it needs it. So the Zax one is the one that fell a bit short for me. So it used to be that Zax aggro was the go-to list. That was, what you wanted to play. But I think it's kind of fallen apart for me a little bit here, and it doesn't feel as impactful with all the new changes, new assist changes, that sort of thing, and the utility of Astra outweighs the extra damage from Zax. So what I wanted to do was find a way of making a Zax list that I could really take advantage of his kit and that sort of thing, and this is what I've come up with. So we're starting, as you would probably expect, by going for a Maximus here. So Maximus is really, really powerful, really useful, solid early game unit, absolutely fine with having that. We've got Deadeye as our follow-up from there. So that is going to be two range units in conjunction with Zax can deal up to 6 damage per turn, not even encountering crits. That's a pretty solid early turn there. Turn 3 we're probably going for Beatris and maybe a Deadeye activation, possibly saving Cinder. I'm going to skip over this for now and move to the other side. Turn 4 we've probably got a Shrapnel coming out, and then we've got the typical end game package, Florio Lancer for the damage, Ursix Nectarvine for the healing, and Aegys Defense Dome for the reduced damage. So these two together just make it really hard to actually deal with anything that's sat inside it. And what I wanted to do was make it even more difficult, and I've gone for Peacemaker Balam. So Balam's something I've put in lists before, and I find it really useful with a couple of units specifically, those being with Beatris Enforcer and Shrapnel. So the reason for that is in the late game, when you've got lots of Cinder to spare, we can actually just do AoE damage to multiple units and just clear them out a lot easier. We've got Zax to group them up, and it can be a win condition in itself. However, I do think that in most cases we're not going to be playing Peacemaker Balam very early on, if at all. Balam's probably one of our last options here, but it's very, very useful in certain spots, especially if you've got good angles onto it. So really going to try and use this sparingly, but I think it's great when we do, because I think the rest of our game plan's pretty solid. In terms of second wind and going second, we've obviously got Maximus first, and then we probably either skip straight to Shrapnel or just go for these two next, and then with our 3 Cinder, I actually think we probably just wait on it, and on the following turn we can play something out, one of these. So that's going to be my game plan. That's what I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to jump into a couple of games now and hopefully have a bit of success. If you enjoyed these videos, please do subscribe to the channel. We've had a really good little influx of subscribers recently, and we're hopefully going to be working our way towards that 250. I'd love it if we could get there, not long after the next set comes out, so that would be a great push. We've got a game already, so we're going to jump in and see what we can do. So, we're trying to be competitive here, so there's no going easy on people. Looking for assists, obviously there's the same few that I think I want most games here. So, I love Stimburst, I love Disruptor, I love Vortex. Those are all really good for us in this situation, but we're trying to last to the end game. A bit of a slow frame rate for a moment there. Okay, not quite sure why that happened there. Hopefully it's now sped up a little bit. Okay, there we go. Perfect. So Stowaway isn't good, so that doesn't account for Disruptor. Orbital and Cinder Infusion are medium, so Ion Storm and Plinker are going to be our picks. Plinker's the best assist other than Disruptor Beam in this whole list, and Ion Storm is perfectly reasonable. So we're against Kartoffelpauk, who, interesting enough, I'm fairly confident I've played against before. So we're just going to move over here, deploy our Maximus. No sense in playing him anywhere risky, so we're just going to try and make it so that they can't get a good angle around this corner, and then return there. So we're hoping to be able to just start using Plink right away and just start putting pressure on. Yeah, so this is a reasonable angle to be able to use Plink. What we're going to do is, depending on if they play a Maximus, they do. So we might see if we can get angles onto their Maximus, because this is a good angle here. So if we move here first, what angles have we got? Have we got one without any minus here? Yeah, so we only actually need to hit one Maximus shot here for this to be worth it, if we can hit with Zax. Okay, hitting with Zax is the key part of this no matter what, so we did get that, that's perfect. And honestly here, I think I'm just going to place Deadeye the other side of this terrain, just slightly further out. and start applying that pressure really quickly onto our opponent. So because we've got Plink, we can really sort of put pressure onto them fast. And the thing with this list is it does apply a lot of pressure quickly in the early game, which gives us the sort of the ability to rely on these later game units without it being too much of a concern. So also with our Deadeye placement here, something I'm trying to be better at, which is something I'm definitely need a bit of practice with, is staying further away from the walls so we don't just get trapped in by other units. So Atari here would mean I'm expecting either something like a Rickety would be probably quite likely here, or maybe a Beatris or something like that. I think Beatris would be they'd be looking at deploying over here, so Stitchy, interesting. If we can actually get all the damage onto Stitchy here, we don't even have to worry about anything. We've just got perfect damage, and they miss that as well. We've got exactly the damage we need to kill here. So we're absolutely going to be Iron Storming this, just to keep that tempo advantage going. And honestly, I think we actually do just go for Stitchy. Oh my goodness, that crit is huge. So that means that we now take this shot with our Zax, because if we hit this, there you go, we can just blink this down. That was a really big crit for us there. So we are going to... Okay, yeah, our opponent had to concede at that point, I think, because... Well, they didn't have to, but there was a very low chance of them coming back. So that was just a really good aggressive start to the game. A big crit really swung that. And now I know that I'm a proponent for crits. I love crits. I like the fact they're in the game. But yeah, I don't think they should be double damage. That's a huge amount of damage there. That swing saved us an entire activation. It meant we could then shoot at something else, and really did swing those tides in our favour. So, a good first win. We're going to go into another game and see what we can do. I actually don't think our opponent really played anything too wrong there. It was maybe like the Stitchy deployment was a bit aggressive. They could have chosen something else. I'm trying to think. So there was Maximus, again, I suppose actually, yeah, there's a couple of deployments I think were the only issue there, is that Maximus was a bit too exposed, Stitchy was too exposed, and it just gave us easy access to going in and trying to take those out. And I was talking about this in Discord the other day. While I do think taking the captain out fairly quickly is a really solid way of winning the game, I like to try and build up a 1 or 2 unit advantage on board, so that when I get to the point that my advantage on board is insurmountable, that's when I turn on the captain. So, we're going to go into another game, see what happens. Hopefully we'll find another opponent. This may be the same opponent. It's another Zax list. And what have we got here? So we've got another Plink, and it's with Stasis Field, which is another good assist, so we're just going to take this. Lifeline's probably the next best assist here, and Medical Recall's mediocre. Corrosive isn't good anymore, and Stowaway is just not good if you're making a constructed list, so let's go for the only solid ones. Okay, so same opponent again, but this time they're going first, so we've got the second win advantage here, which probably changes how we play, but we really do take advantage of second win quite well. So that's one thing I like about this, is with early game in the last game, we won through positioning and getting early trades off really well and getting into the right spots. Whereas this game, we're going for a completely different approach. I'm probably going for the longer game here. I am going to try and take this shot because a crit and we get it. Oh, we didn't get crit, but we do get to Plink.
The future.
And now we can place our Maximus just behind this pillar, which is just completely safe as far as I can tell. So, same opponent, same matchup, but we've got a little bit more consistency here. So, if I were them, I'd probably move up and try and get shots onto our Zax and move somewhere safe. But with us having access to Force Cinder next turn, we're going to be at such an advantage. If they miss both of these, they're in a lot of trouble. Okay, they did get one, that's good. I think probably around here, yeah, somewhere around here is the right movement. I don't think there's anything else really to do. Is this a Plink? Yeah, we're taking Plink as well. Okay, we're fine with Plink. What's their next play? So if they play something fairly defensive, yeah, so Stitchy here. So we've got no angle onto this from here.
Ahoy!
We've got angle onto their captain, so I think we just go for that first. 50-50, not too bad. We missed, but it's not the end of the world.
I've got plans soon.
Honestly, I think we just do the same here. So just move all the way up. Maybe slightly less to give us a bit more option with movement. Go for 248s. There we go. Got one. Pop ourselves back here to keep safe. We're absolutely going to use Plink while we can.
Stealthy.
And here, so we've got Deadeye and Beatris as one option, but Beatris is just going to get kited around the whole time, so I think I'm just putting Shrapnel down and just over here as safe as possible.
Let's make friends.
And then we've just got a really solid line onto a good angle this side. Maximus is going to struggle to damage us too much because we put Shrapnel right against this wall, so even though sometimes you get blocked in, if they're willing to use 2 Cinder here to heal, then we're absolutely fine. Yeah, that's their whole turn basically spent on healing Maximus, and it looks like they've actually trapped him in place as well. So, pretty unfortunate for our opponent. That's probably going to spell the beginning of the end, I'd say. It's not necessarily game over or anything like that, but this is not going to be a good situation for them. So we're going to start moving around, getting good angles. We might even be able to get an angle onto this, but we're just going to try and get these two. If they move to there, we can. We can just get Shrapnel to move over here, get a bad line of sight here, but still line of sight. Especially if there's a gap through here. And they've blocked their own line of sight as well. Yeah, so unfortunately... Oh, no, they haven't. Okay, cool.
Still adjusting to
It did miss, but that's as it goes.
Crossing them out.
So can we get... So we can actually get in range of the Zax here. So I guess we do. It doesn't really hurt. 50-50 on them. Oh my god, we just crit their... we crit their max again. Oh, poor OP. Here I think we're just turning on the captain.
The future.
The reason I'm doing this is because it forces Stitchy to spend more Cinder next turn if he wants to be relevant. And we just want to keep... Basically, we want to give them as few options as possible. So if we just move over here... honestly, I think we just deploy... We could deploy Beatris here and actually probably block most of this, but... I think we just want to play Deadeye. Right in front of Zax, make it as hard as possible for them to get away from us. And we can just turn on this. So they're basically shoehorned into spending 2 Cinder every turn. We can stun it next turn, apply more pressure. Yeah, this... So both of these games have been tilted quickly in our favour by crits, and like I've said before, I love crits, I think they should be in the game, but I don't think a 1 or 2 damage unit should be able to crit for 2 damage. That seems absurd to me. So all we need is to get them in a position where they're not particularly safe, and we can like move things this way, and we can just go for the stun. Next turn we're going to have 7 Cinder. Big crit onto us is good. So we both got equal crit. Oh no, they didn't do quite as much damage, I suppose, but... What's this going to be? If they don't heal here... Okay, it's a Rickety. Yep. So, it's all well and good them having a Rickety, but that is actually something we could stun without even having to worry. We could just stun that and keep applying pressure a different route. Okay, they've got their stun. This is good for them. So they can move here and heal. If they do that, we're just going to have to turn onto their Rickety and just go for that instead. Which is completely fine by me.
Pushy, pushy.
So this is fine. What this means as well, though, is that we can also just... If we put this damage into...
Thank you.
What is with all of these crits? This is ridiculous. Like,
Brought my special pack.
this isn't a reasonable amount of crits.
It's not
This
me,
is
it's
far
you.
more than we should expect to get. We're just going to go up for the damage, potentially...
At your
In fact,
service.
here we should just go for... Because we're not going to get this. We might miss it. And this way we can get the guaranteed damage this way.
I could use a
And we can still stun their captain.
Parasols up.
And then what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to... slightly too far away, so... We can move Max forward here.
Ahoy.
Blink their captain.
Convenient.
And then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to deploy Beatris at the front and just go for that extra damage. Florio Lancer just over here. And we've just, again, got more and more damage coming down. And I don't think they're going to have much of a reasonable option to get out of this. So they can heal for 3, but then that only takes them down to 4 Cinder for the turn. We can just start clearing these up at our own pace, really. Yeah, this is fine. 4 Cinder, the best thing they can play is also like another Shrapnel.
We got here.
Yeah, blink to heal, that's fine. If they don't move Stitchy, they're just going to take a double hit here from Beatris, and then they're going to get Florioed and lose Stitchy anyway. So this is quite the risk. Okay, yeah, they can kill Deadeye. This is good. So that means they can kill Deadeye, which is all, like, pretty reasonable. That's something they should absolutely be trying to do. So it just means we probably send Florio this way instead. But if they don't move Stitchy, that's the big deal here. Especially if this stays here, because then we might be able to get... No, please don't move down this way, OP. I will bombard my own units if that's what it takes to deal with this. Okay, so this was a mistake. We can just churn through this pretty quickly. We're almost at the point where we can actually just still go for full-on face damage. Which I think is what we're going to try and do. We'll bombard these three. Don't hit anything else. Yeah, we've killed Stitchy, and we're just going to keep applying pressure to their captain. And we're going to ignore the Scattervine. Pop this down here. And honestly, because it forces... Oh, that doesn't actually move them out far enough. Keep moving Florio forwards. Beatris can move forwards. This might make it harder for them to move out. Yeah, so now they're completely pinned between these two. And they have to deal with one of these two before moving, so... This is how I like using Sleeper Mines when I don't mind the fact they can come back and hit us, because what are they going to do here? We've trapped them into a corner, we've literally blocked them so they can't move, we've got infinite range on Florio to... There's almost no world in which they could ever get out of this. So that's another solid victory there. Again, we're only playing against a level 2 opponent, but they seem to have a reasonable grasp of the game. I'm kind of happy with how these are going. So we'll try and fit in one more and see what we can do from here. Peacemaker Balam leveled up. Nice. Okay, so we're going to jump into a third game. Honestly, I'm really, really happy with how things are going at the moment. And like, I'm enjoying playing something with a bit of a purpose to it. So because we've got the tournament coming up, I'm liking working out lists. I'd love it if we could just pick 3 lists. Personally, given that there's only 3 captains, I still like the idea of one of each captain. But it's not up to me. It's in the Discord, there'll be a tournament chat in there, and we can find out what's going on from there. So at the moment, I think it's not for about 10 days now, so you can sign up until half an hour before the tournament, and at the moment there's only 4 of us, but there's someone who's only been playing a few days, there's like myself who's been playing since the playtest, and I really do think it's quite a level playing field at the moment. It just depends on the format. Personally, I hope they don't make it too complicated. I hope it stays as something a little bit more, you know, you make your lists, maybe some restrictions on not having the same units in every list. Like, if I need to, I'll take Maximus out of a list. You know, that's fine by me. It would probably be this list. But then again, I like the early pressure. Who knows? It's hard to justify cutting Maximus from anything. In fact, if anything, no, it'd probably be my Astra list. But yeah, so there's a lot of interest with the tournament. I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully you guys will be able to see it as well. I'm actually going to be live streaming the tournament, and it's going to be on the 21st. I believe it's at 5 PM my time, so I've actually set my plans out. I'm going to be live streaming the tournament, and hopefully you guys can join us there as well. So I'll come back once we got into another game, and I'll see you then. Okay, we've just found our third game. There has been a bit of a queue, so hopefully this isn't the same opponent again. We can have a bit of variety here and try out our third game with our new and improved competitive Zax list. So I'm hoping this is going to work out well. We're going to see... It's another strange frame rate. I'm not sure what's going on today, but... Okay, so we're against an Extilior. It's a nicely painted Extilior as well. I'm going to have a look at that in a moment. So we're looking for like Disruptor, Stimburst, Vortex, Plink... anything along those lines. In fact, I like Stun versus Extilior as well, because he has to come out into the open to get to us, so to even get any use out of the captain. So at some point we're just going to be able to just turn everything onto him for a turn. Okay, so this is a bad selection here. Escape Hatch is probably our best because it brings Defense Dome down and we can potentially heal it. Oh, this isn't like, I don't really care for... Oh. Okay, I didn't even get to pick. I guess my game must have just lagged out. Oh, we're against Taxicab. Hello, Taxicab. I've been chatting to Taxicab in Discord. That's a really nice looking exterior. That sword looks great. Oh, it's me.
Always pick dare.
I'm not being a very good opponent. Oh, that's blocked, isn't it? Alright, 17% chance. We missed it, but we'll pop our Maximus as far forward as we can in the smoke. Perfect. Job done. So this is a standard start for this. So if I were them, I'd expect them to be moving away, yeah, trying to hide, something along those lines, and we're going to just move in this direction. Depending on what they play and where, we can go for that. So, Stowaway, interesting enough, might not be too unreasonable here, depending on how we choose to play, because it might be that we just get rid of Balam. Okay, so there's their Maximus. We have got Stim Burst though, so we can actually get a lot of additional speed here. Get ourselves some guaranteed hits. So getting that's really nice. Pop over here. I don't think we're going to get anywhere with our Zax, let's be honest. So let's just stay behind this smoke a little bit. And just take a pot shot in there external.
Slow and steady.
And then here I think we are just going to play Deadeye down. We're fine with just... In fact, because Deadeye's got so much health, we'll just place Deadeye here and get ourselves a better angle.
Who wants snacks?
I'm surprised that we did actually like time out there and not get access to Stowaway, but we just want to be able to kill Maximus here. So this is going to be their two drops, I imagine. This looks like so. This feels like a Deadeye here. So I imagine we're going to have like a. Oh, they've just gone fully for Broken Vengeance. Interesting. So with Broken Vengeance, what that makes me want to do is completely ignore everything. Let's have a look at these. Nice paint job there. That's adorable. I love the pastel coloured Broken Vengeance there. Yeah, so this is reasonable. This is reasonable. We did get a hit. That's fine. So with Broken Vengeance here, I honestly feel like we might even just place Beatris here. Beatris here actually, and just move forwards. Yeah, because we've got the Cinder to use our to use everything we need to basically. So if we just
I am not damaged.
we can't move away from Broken Vengeance very easily, so let's Ozos ourselves to get the 84% here. We're going to move over this direction.
Who wants a party favor?
Take this shot. Did get it, and then Beatris I think we actually want to deploy over here. And now I'm tempted to change Balam for a random 4-drop, but we get something like a Tipu most of the time. I'm not sure that's what we want. We could get a Necker Hole. I'm going to save it for now until we've got a turn where we really do want what it offers. So this feels like... I mean, I was going to say this feels like Ion Storm, but I mean it's very likely to be. We want to get Beatris in on Broken Vengeance, by the way, in case anyone didn't know that already. I will probably be willing to spend 2 Cinder next turn to do just that if it comes to it. This Ion Storm... If it's Ion Storm we don't do that. If Ion Storm we just turn on the captain, but to be honest at this rate I think we just Stim Burst and run towards their captain anyway, because if we just leave Broken Vengeance so far away he doesn't matter, then there's no issue here, we just keep going. So this is... Okay, this is Tlali, so we can try and put some damage either onto Tlali or onto their captain. I feel like the captain's the right choice. This does really feel like an Ion Storm. I don't see what else it could be, or maybe Orbital. If it's Orbital, that's not the place to place it. You want to place it either here or over here. Yeah, that's not the Orbital placement that they're looking for really, but that's fine, that's what it is. Okay, so we're just going to Stim Burst everyone. And we're just going to, I think, just apply pressure. So we want to just get as much of an angle onto Exterior as possible.
Good scoping.
Can we get anything down there? No, but we can get a reasonable line of sight onto Tlali here. So we'll just take that.
I see you.
At that point, the question is, do we just go for...
Design this outfit. Here we go.
What do we go for here? I think it might even just be going more captain damage and just trying to keep Tlali away. We only really went for Tlali there because we didn't have much of a better option. So we'll move back here.
Watching me dance.
And I think... So we've got Shrapnel or Peacemaker Balam basically. I think Shrapnel's the play. And we want to make it so that it blocks Extilior from getting too far away. So here looks perfect. We've used everything we can. We're bearing down on them pretty rapidly. And they don't have much that can actually go against us. Broken Vengeance we're just going to ignore at this point. Yeah, he's too far away. He's too far to be anything useful. And we're going to just be trying to chase them down. They can spend 2 Cinder here to go for 4 damage onto our captain. But we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, potentially 10 damage back onto theirs. So this is the way that we're going to want to do this. Then moving on to Shrapnel's fine. Not worried about that.
Intriguing design.
Like, there are ways that they can follow this up, but we've probably either killed Slali and just attack on this.
Nice.
Oh, well, okay, they're just going all out on us. Interesting. Okay, let's go for it. Let's race. These are really nicely painted models. Well done, Taxi Cab. Yeah, no, this could be the end of us because they got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage next turn.
Always big dare.
Question is that big enough for a grab disc? I think it is. So
Every day's full.
I think what we're going to do here is just kill Tali.
It's an improvement.
Just move back a little bit. Yeah, this is 100%.
The show must go.
This is what we want from this.
Whoopsie doopsie.
And just get the chain to death.
Payback. Decide.
I love this chain. The crit finish as well. Lovely. So, Shrapnel might as well just come here and take a shot at Quetzali. I mean, it doesn't hurt to. Missed anyway. Well done. What's the range next to the oils? Not quite far enough, so we can just keep moving up.
Thanks, I'd love a pint.
Zax can move back. We place a sleeper mine
What is
here,
time, really?
blocking it.
He wants to play.
Honestly, at this point, I think I'm just going to use Stowaway. Maybe get a T-Boot. Taurian Guardian, that's a great pickup for this situation. Yeah, so now I feel really in control of this. They've obviously got good movement. They can move, say, here and then around, but they can't quite get everywhere they need to. We've blocked off a lot of their avenues, and we can turn on them next turn. We've got Stim Burst to keep our distance. We're just going to block this route off with the mine next turn. So where's their deployment going to go? And we're just going to... Okay, they're keeping running. Interesting. So this could be a Florio. That'll be a bit of pressure for us to deal with. Yeah.
You mess up the wax.
So now we do have to go and deal with the Florio, basically.
We're lousy with
And
projectiles.
so, given that we can take 8 damage this turn,
Meditating.
can we get line of sight there? No. So we're just gonna
Little temper tantrum.
let's get all these to Stim Burst.
The future.
So we don't actually need to go that far. How far can Extilion move? Just over there. So we move to here, we should be safe. Grav disc this a little bit less far. That's where we want it, and we're probably not quite actually. Yeah,
Sometimes
so
it's scary. You have fine motor
Beatris can move over
Eyes
here,
open, tails behaving.
missing everything. We've got our own Florio, we've got Defense Dome.
Oh, I forgot my lucky cravat. Ah, piece of
Wow,
shaking
we
and
really
ass.
did miss everything.
What is this? A game?
So I think here we're just placing Defense Dome down, probably over here. Maybe that should have gone on the captain. So next turn we're probably going to play Nectarvine. We do need to basically keep ourselves safe versus Florio. Right, sorry, versus their captain rather. But without Quetzali getting into range, we're actually fairly safe. This is orbital, so that's fine. We can just move this direction. Not worried about that. We can still use Beatris to hide up here. We're going to have Nectarvine to heal everything up. This is no issue for us. Killing Florio is an issue, because that actually needs to happen, or we're going to be in a lot of trouble. I mean, there's even a world here where they come towards us and we can just pull them back into their defense dome and die. Into their, sorry, orbital strike, not defense dome. But yeah, Taxi Cab's playing this well, though. I'm glad to see this. We have got another activation of this, but we do want to keep our Nectarvine. We're probably just going to be doing that this turn. Okay, this is where they're moving. Yep, where are they off to? This is all fine. I don't care about this in the slightest. All I care about here is killing Florio and dealing with this in a minute, because we can chip away at this. That's absolutely fine. Like, Shrapnel can just do some damage over turns.
Many ways to fight.
They've only got 5 units left total. We've got 8, and we can heal and they can't. So, again,
Come on, you.
pulling them out with Gravity Disc is the right call here. We just need to kill Florio this time. So we're just going to put Zax here for our last attack.
What is this armor made of?
Beatris doesn't need to move
Want
first, so we can
some
just...
talus fruit?
I've got plans soon.
So he's 78, is he? Ah, no, I didn't have the Ozos on anyone last turn. So I do need to Ozos probably Maximus here. Oh, that's not what I was trying to do. I was trying to Ozos Max.
Breathe slow.
Get these shots off. This needs to hit, basically. There we go. And then Max can move somewhere else. Who even minds that at this point?
Catch me if you can.
Beatris can move out. Defense Dome can just keep us all safe. I mean, we could just move. I don't know if that's quite out. We're already taking 3 anyway. And then let's just pop down
Rules, rules.
Nectarvine in here. Heal these all up. And there you go. Shoot this.
Yeah, I'm a softie.
There we go. Job done. So we're healing. They've only got Extilior that deals damage on the battlefield. We've only got 3 units left on their entire roster. Next turn we can probably deploy our Florio if we get something killed. So at this point we're actually not even bothered if they kill Shrapnel, because we're just going to eventually come up and deal with this. Yep, so this only does 3 damage to Maximus if they get into range of it, is the thing. So they can move in and then just move Quetzalcoatl, so they can still move away again, but this only does 2. We're going to heal next turn regardless. We can just take this as slow as we want. They could have moved Quetzalcoatl to get an extra 1 damage here, but... Oh, they just went to get it here. Okay.
They get last.
Sure. So, unless they do anything really drastic, I can't think of anything else there could be. We're just going to take this as easy as we can. We've got the Florio, they don't. We've got the defensive setup, they don't.
Evildoers
Sure.
will lose.
Calculate.
Not feeling too worried at this point. We've got a really good setup.
I am warning
We've
you.
got a plant in a good spot. We can move Zax in to get range on it. Like, we probably do just kill Quetzalcoatl, just to sort of make some progress, but
Slick.
it doesn't really matter that much.
your
'Cause they can keep
service.
shielding themselves. So this is only 60, so let's just... Put this over here. That, why not?
Very.
I'm just going to chip away at this slowly.
It's all science.
Always big dare.
Make sure we get in range for our own heals here. We did get that, that's perfect.
Demonstrate. Corpse.
So the dome can now move up and defend everything this way. We'll just circle Beatris round, because we don't really mind. And to be honest, we probably want Ozos on ourselves just so we can get multiple activations next turn. I don't know. I'm going to do this because I don't think I want Torian Guardian anymore. Furia. Furia's good. That can sort this situation out for us a little bit. So now all they can really do is just sit there. You know, we don't have anything that we need to worry about. We can just sit here, take our time, chip the damage away. Like, we probably end up moving Shrapnel backwards and trying to get closer towards the healing. But here, I mean, Shrapnel's taking 2 less damage there. Okay, yep, they can kill this. This is fine. So they can place 1 more. So now we have to just go after these. We lose a Maximus. They can place 2 more. But we're going to just move in and start trying to deal with that. But the other option is also just ignoring all that and going for the captain. So now that we've lost Maximus as well, though, we can play Florio, and that just changes everything. They've only got 1 unit left on their bridge as well, so... just keeping flopping them down. They could shield their own... Ooh, got the crit, delta damage. Sure.
This is frustration.
I'm not feeling too worried about this. Is that now in range? Yeah, it is. Okay, and this is the shield. Yeah, perfect. Good play by Zax Jakar there.
Eager to please.
So honestly, nothing matters unless we kill all of these, but it does use all their cinder, so we may as well try.
Want some talus
And we
fruit?
could just get that's still 50%. So let's just move ourselves back up a little. We've got one there.
Ahoy!
I mean, I don't know what's even worth shooting. It's probably just that one. So let's move this down to here. Just try and take out one of these. Make them spend more cinder next turn, basically, as the entire game right here. And then with Florio, we want Florio to be in dome range, so just here seems good.
Rules.
Beatris can just keep on chugging away along down this way.
Eyes open, tails behaving.
Again, we probably want to just Ozos herself.
Grab my
Doesn't
special
cost
bag.
anything. Yeah, let's just do this. We're healing off every turn anyway. Orbital is a minor inconvenience at this point. The only thing Orbital can do is if you put it on Florio or on Beatris, then it's guaranteed to hit them. That's the thing. So, because they can't move all the way out of it if you're a slow unit. Killing the dome would be great for them, but I think we're just going to be able to race down their captain quicker than they can do anything to us. And that's exactly what we're going to try and do. So it looks like we've got this out to try and do something against the Scattervines, but honestly, if we just leave them alive and our dome, I don't see how we particularly lose. We're just going to leave this back into heal range next turn, start grouping things up, and smashing them down. We can also just play Furia, try and go for 5 damage next turn as well, especially in conjunction with Deadeye. Yep, you've got 6 units, and the thing is here, we don't actually want to kill any of their units because other things that they have will probably be more impactful than actually just the things that they've got on the battlefield. So we'll damage Torian more than damage anything else, but we just want to kill the captain basically. Yep, this is all good, this shouldn't do anything. And now I think we're in a good spot. We will chip down Torian, because Torian just makes it inconvenient here, but... So, bombard.
They're always surprised.
Deadeye down for this shot.
Cease your pestering.
Ozos here.
Keep them in your sights.
This shot.
Gotcha. Ah, boy!
Okay, defense stone can pop back here.
Overcompensating?
Florio.
Ahoy!
You can grab discard plant out,
Cozy up.
which is good. What's our best angle on the captain? I suppose it's just here, so we'll just go and do that. 0%, not a shock.
Silence isn't the answer.
Keep bringing Beatris down. And now I think we can, if we can place a sleeper mine somewhere worthwhile, we can do so. Like over here could actually be worth it. It protects us a little bit, and they don't have any movement abilities, so... Do we want to turn Fury into probably Mequani Thicket or Bulwark? Nah, we'll leave her. Keep healing up. Again, we're just gonna... Oh, I'm not convinced that was in range. I don't think that marker was on there, unless I've missed something. So now they can kill Shrapnel. Possibly Deadeye. But they're going to be in range of Beatris. Yeah, so they can... Oh, they can kill both. Yeah, no, we've left this open. So now Furia gets to have her fun.
We will hold them up.
Yep, shield your hope so. Oh no, because they can't deploy enough of the other units. Oh no, they've still got an attack left. Yep, they've killed our Bane. Again though, I just think... Ooh, that's clever. I hadn't thought of that. I think we're just going to keep chipping damage away. Like, the vines are annoying, but we're going to keep healing anyway, so I don't know if this does actually do anything. They've got a full board. What can they do? We can kill Torian next turn. So we'll just keep this going, being the plan.
Beats being in a lab, huh?
Let's Ozos ourselves. And I'm going to use that to get rid of this. The reason being is that...
requires teensy breaks.
Okay, so let's just Stim Burst here.
The future.
And let's just like slowly chip away at the damage. Okay, that crit's big. Then all we do is just grab disc these two together and just go for the guaranteed win. Perfect. That was a really fun, like, long-winded game. That's like how this can play out. I didn't feel like we were out of control, particularly at any point. We could have turned on the plants if I think we really needed to, but I don't feel like there was any point where we felt under too much pressure. But all in all, it was really well played by Taxicab there. Like, the vines did a lot more work than I thought they would. I still think we did, you know, did have control of the game, but it was more than I expected. And maybe there was a line in there that I wouldn't have expected. Hey, level 60, getting those sparks, gradually catch up with Jester in the amount of games played. So, all in all, I'm feeling better about this list. We didn't come against too many high-level opponents today, so I'd like to come across some more, you know, more experienced players, basically. You know, nobody that I played against played badly. There was actually some very good games, but, you know, I really do think that I want to see how that can play in another setting as well. But all in all, this is looking like a good contender for my third, you know, tournament list, if this is the format it takes. Either whether it takes the format or not, it's a really good thing to be able to get practice playing to the best of my ability. You're playing those sort of like more powerful lists, so really, really keen to keep that going. If you like the video, please do hit subscribe. Make sure you drop a comment. Let me know if there's any. You know, would you have gone for the vines? Basically, it's one of those. Would you have gone for the vines early on and tried to clear them out, or would you have left them and got to the situation where I did, where things were taking a bit longer, but you felt in control? Because I was still worried about whatever that last unit was. So let me know what you think on that. Please hit that subscribe button, and most importantly, have a good day.